Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 Utility Arborist Association Annual Meeting. I'm Josh Beaver. I'm President of the UA Board of Directors. A big thank you for taking the time to be here today as we wrap up the year. I'm fully aware that many members aren't able to be here to tune into the live event. So for those watching at a later date, thank you for taking the time to watch. The engagement of the board members is really what keeps the UA strong and moving forward, and all members, to be exact. So thank you for your commitment to the industry and your dedication to the UAA. So we're a little tight on time today, so let's start with a quick review of the agenda. So I will provide some of my own kind of personal musings, cover a bit of the UAA success over the past year. I'll introduce our board of directors and the UAA team. Chris King, our secretary treasurer, will provide an update on all things financial. Each of the UAA committees will then provide a quick status update on all the really cool things that they've been up to over the last year. And I'll end my portion with a brief overview of our newly created strategic 3-year plan. Kim Lang, our president-elect, will touch on some of the great things happening for us in 2026. And before we adjourn, Dennis Fallon will facilitate a Q&A session, so please ask any burning questions at that time. Oh, and just to go back to the committee updates, I kind of embellished just a little bit. It will be a little bit quicker than that. We'll touch base on kind of some things that have happened since Trees and Utilities up to just some things that were in the initiative for the beginning of the next year. So as we get started, I want to take a moment to recognize the support that makes our work throughout the year possible. We're fortunate to have an amazing group of sponsors that really believe in the UA's mission, and with that, help deliver value to the members and to the industry at large. So please join me in giving a big round of virtual applause to all our sponsors for their commitment and partnership. And I'd like to give a special recognition here to our diamond sponsor, National Grid. And also a special thank you to our platinum sponsor, Asplin. The support provided by these organizations has really made a difference for the UAA. And moving on now to our gold sponsors, Kendall and Xylem. To our silver sponsors, AI Dash, Arbormetrics, Corteva, Davy, Eocene, First Energy, Forester UVM, Grow a Trees, Iapetus, Lewis, NG Gilbert, Overstory, Townsend, Tree Service Kings Inc., and Wright. To our bronze members, Arbor Vista, Arborworks, CFVM, Clarion, and First American. And I'd also like to give a special thank you to our group member companies. Thank you for your commitment to the industry and to personal development. This is ACRT for Asplin, Arbormetrics, and Eocene. So jumping into my welcome here, as I mentioned at Trees and Utilities back in September, for those that couldn't make it, I celebrated my 20th anniversary in the industry over the summer. And I said it then, and I can say it now even more emphatically, without hesitation, that this has truly been the most fulfilling year of my career in UVM. So it's exciting just to be doing what we do at this given moment in time. There are endless opportunities to seize upon, whether it's all things technological, and there are definitely challenges that we need to overcome. Think no further than the wildfire issues out in the western part of the U.S. So interacting with the board and with you, the members, to address these has been truly amazing over the last 3 or 4 months. So a large portion of my member interaction at this point has taken place on committee calls. It really uplifts me when I can get on the calls because just hearing the dedication and the passion exuded by everyone on board on the committee calls is really great. And it's really encouraging because when I get on the committee calls, we're making really great strides with all the respective goals of the committees. I've also enjoyed several productive one-on-one calls with different subject matter experts within the membership. So thank you to everyone that has reached out over the last few months. It's been a great way to share ideas, and I look forward to continuing that. So no matter the forum, how we communicate, our members, all of us, play a critical role in moving the UA strategy forward. On that topic, we had a very productive strategic planning sessions back in May, and we left there with a unified vision for the future. So our bold 3-year plan, which I will describe a bit more in detail later in the call, is for the UAA to be recognized as the voice of the industry, both within the industry and externally. And my hope is that we would hit the ground running with implementing the plan right out of the gate after we wrapped up the Trees and Utilities Conference in Knoxville. And I can happily say that we are making that progress. We introduced the plan last week on the UA committee leadership call, and great discussions are really happening. And again, progress is being made. So the board will be meeting next month in January to further discuss their strategy, how we can implement it more effectively, and just in general, just keep the momentum going. And you can expect to see a synopsis of our 3-year plan for review. We're planning to house that on the website. And remember, it's a living document, so things can be added, things can be taken away from it. It just kind of depends on how we're moving forward. But right now, the plan is to house that on the website. And speaking of the website, I would encourage each of you to visit the website so that if it's been a while since you last visited, since we're on the brink of a new year, I thought, it's probably a good time to go in and do some housekeeping, update all your critical member information, spend some time perusing the site. The UA team has spent a really good amount of time making improvements, and there's a wealth of material out there for you to review, pertinent news, calendar upcoming events, plenty of research, fact sheets, environmental messages, safety messages that you can use in your daily operations. So that said, let me now jump into some of the successes of the UAA. And hopefully you've had a chance here to read some of these. These are really important for what we've been doing. And so let me just start with a total membership is over 4,200 members. And it's really been a focal point over the last year of the UAA team to really focus on member experience. And I feel like we have made some real strides in this area. That's really due to the hard work that team's doing. They've done a fantastic job of delivering quality service and just new ideas for the future. We've expanded our group membership to 4 companies. It's great to see more companies, again, investing in that professional development for their staffs. Webinar attendance increased by 24%. We're covering topics from Indigenous partnership and leadership to proactive UVM to ANSI Z133 to a really cool overview of the National Urban and Community Forestry's 10-year action plan. We had over 9,300 online video views and over $142,000 in scholarships were rewarded. And over 144 total CEUs were offered. Let's see, we had 11 events in total at the national and regional scale, including 2 dedicated safety summits. And we co-hosted the BNEEC event in Indiana that focused on biodiversity and sustainability for UVM. And I really can't end this section without talking about trees and utilities for a moment. I'm proud to say that our flagship conference had, again, broken attendance record with over 1,500 registered. And we received great feedback from attendees, with almost all of it being extremely positive. And it was also great to have affiliate organizations in the room. One in particular was having the National Urban and Community Forestry Advisory Council at the event for a workshop, and it was really beneficial, just a perfect opportunity to discuss fostering collaboration in the future and just get input from our industry that we could convey back to them. And last but definitely not least, I'm proud to say that we published the very first UAA annual report in 2025 that can be found on the website. Okay, Now I'd like to introduce the UAA Board of Directors and the UAA team. This group does an enormous amount of work for the industry. We'll start with the Executive Committee. We've got Kimberly Ling, President-elect, Troy Ross, Vice President, Chris King, Secretary-Treasurer, and to our directors, we have Jody Braskich, we have Matt Goff, Jason Grossman, Craig Kelly, Cindy Devlin Music, Jeff Wessing, and Dr. Robert Vanderhoof. And now to the UAA team. Crystal R., the Events Coordinator. Cody Woodward, Membership Office Coordinator. Sam Wilson, Partnership Coordinator. And Dennis Fallon, Executive Director. So thank you all to the board members and the UAA team. Now I can turn it over to Chris King, our Secretary Treasurer, to get an update on the financial health of the UAA. Chris, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Josh. Good afternoon, everyone, and good day for those who are going to be watching at a later time. Thanks for joining. I'm pleased to present the Treasurer's financial update for fiscal year 2025. An exceptional year marked by strong performance, thoughtful stewardship, and meaningful growth across the association. This past year, we not only exceeded many of our financial goals, but we also strengthened the foundations that support our long-term strategy. Behind every number is a story of an association that is growing, adapting, and delivering increasing value to our members, sponsors, and stakeholders. Today, I'll walk you through our revenue and expense performance, our equity growth, and what these results mean for our strategic outlook as we move into 2026. The picture is one of momentum, stability, and opportunity, and I'm excited to share it with you. Let's begin with our general operating revenue for fiscal year 2025. Our planned revenue for the year was $860,500, but our actual revenue reached $1,133,000. This means we exceeded our revenue target by 32%, a significant achievement for our organization. When we compare this performance to fiscal year 2024, we saw a 19% increase in total revenue year over year. This demonstrates not only strong financial health, but also continued momentum in our strategic priorities, member engagement, and revenue-generating activities. Now, let's take a closer look at where these revenues came from. Here's our performance by category compared to plan. ISA utility certification revenues performed exceptionally well, 96% above plan. Membership revenue fell short of expectations by 13%. This is an area we'll continue to monitor and strategize around. Sponsorship revenue came in 7% above plan, reflecting strong partner engagement. UAN advertising revenue exceeded expectations by 107%, showcasing strong demand and visibility in our communication channels. Overall, the majority of our revenue categories outperformed significantly, driving our strong financial results for the year. Moving to operating expenses, our planned expenses for fiscal year 2025 were $1,135,303. Our actual expenses were $926,523, meaning we came in 18% under budget. This outcome reflects disciplined spending and a focused effort on financial stewardship across all departments. Year-over-year expenses increased 9% compared to fiscal year 2024. This increase reflects both organizational growth and targeted investment to support our expanding programs and member services. Next, let's take a look at our equity position. Overall equity increased by 32% fiscal year 2024 to 2025, signaling a healthier and more resilient financial foundation for the association. Our restricted funds, those funds dedicated to scholarships, grew 6%, allowing us to expand opportunities for educational support and professional development. Our unrestricted funds saw significant growth, increasing 79%. These unrestricted funds support our general operations, enable long-term investment in the association, and provide flexibility to pursue new strategic initiatives and future growth opportunities. Taken together, this equity growth strengthens our stability and positions us well for continued expansion. So looking ahead to 2026, the association is experiencing exceptional growth and our financial outlook remains strong. Our strategy will continue focusing on delivering value to both our members and our sponsors through enhanced programs, resources, and engagement opportunities. We remain committed to responsible financial stewardship, ensuring a sustainable future by practicing conservative budgeting, allocating resources wisely, and making intentional investments that support our long-term mission and growth strategy. Overall, we are entering 2026 in a very positive financial position with the momentum and stability needed to support our expanding initiatives and organizational goals. So thank you for taking the time to listen to my financial update. I will now pass it to Elizabeth Murray to kick off the committee updates.
Thank you very much. Can I please get a sound check?
We can
You
hear
sound
you.
good.
Wonderful. Thank you. I apologize. I'm having some technical difficulties. So I'm just going to go ahead and give a quick update and very pleased to be representing the editorial committee and all of the great work that is done for the Newsline publication. Just very briefly, our committee, fantastic group. Thank you to everybody, all of the volunteers, the committee members, those who are helping with curating excellent content, and to our amazing staff members and champion Craig Kelly. We meet as on a monthly basis and work to create the best possible Newsline and to issue 6 issues every single year in support of UAA goals and strategies, working to create and strengthen partnerships, help to support a sound financial future, and also to really enhance the member benefits and experience. Last year, we had 6 issues that went out, received fantastic feedback from viewers and from committee members, and we're very excited about 2026. We will have 6 different themes that will take place throughout the year: strategic climate risk readiness, environmental stewardship, our safety issue, people and teamwork powering utilities, next-gen vegetation management technology, and future-ready systems and infrastructure. Some of these are new themes, and some of them are solid recurring themes that we see year after year. We've also kept some of our standard columns and added a new column for 2026. The new column is called Rooted in Service: From Tree Care to Community Care. And it will go into how UVM steps up to serve and protect and connect through volunteerism, partnership, stewardship, and response. The big announcement I guess we would like to make is that the committee has been working really hard with our staff and our publishing team for several months to talk about taking the digital platform that we're using and upgrading it to a new system called FlipStack. This is going to be able to enhance that reader experience, provide better metrics, increase engagement. So when people go and they look at the digital issue, they will have many more opportunities to really dive into the content. Links, videos, will have the ability to have some bilingual content. It's really going to add value to not only our readers, but to our sponsors and our advertisers, and continuously enhance and elevate the professionalism of our sector. This is very exciting. It's going to take place next year. We'll be doing a promotional campaign on that to tease out some of these great features and let people know when they can expect to enjoy this new upgraded feature. And also, we still will have the print copies as well. And big announcement there is that is also going to be upgraded to be printed on sustainable stock. So very excited about these 2 new, very, I guess I would say slightly innovative, really exciting and enhancing features that we'll have coming up next year. And the next step on this is providing some formal recommendations to the board and to the staff for January. And we would just ask all of you to keep an eye out so that you will see when these new features are going to be coming alive and showing up in your inboxes, in your portal. And as always, we thank everyone for their contributions. We are always looking for new authors and content, and even committee members. So please keep us in mind, and thank you for the support. I'm going to hand off now to Caitlin Morrison.
Great, thank you. Sound check, sound good?
Yep.
Awesome,
Good to
great.
roll.
My name is Caitlin Morrison, and I'm the Environmental Stewardship Chair, or Chair for the committee. And this past year was really exciting to be able to lead such a like-minded group for the folks that we typically have about 30 people signed up members for the committee, and we have about an average of 15 people that show up each month or every 6 weeks we have a meeting. And if you're interested, obviously reach out to Cody and Crystal and Sam about getting in on the invite. But in the last quarter, since Trees and Utility, we are preparing our PSA video, which is the topic is viewing roads or right-of-ways as assets. This came from a survey in 2024. We are going to be doing 2 PSA videos. This is the first one. The second one will be a business case for IVM and environmental stewardship. But we are excited to get the ball rolling on this production to be able to air it during the Row 14 symposium. We would like to thank the UAA and PNM for helping sponsor the video. And we will be having our first meeting in the 2026 year about our goals and our production goals for this video. So we have a few meetings planned for that. I wanted to remind folks and members that we have the environmental messages on the Library of Environmental Messages. One of our members, Stan, is responsible for creating those updates. But if anyone needs a 5-minute monthly environmental message that is applicable to the season and other environmental environmental and seasonal messages, please visit the Library of Environmental Messages on the UAA website. It has a really great white page and information on on those environmental messages. So please check that out if you haven't. It's a great resource if you ever need anything for your own groups, or you just want to kind of learn more about the topics. I want to thank all the folks, the members that have joined and have participated this year. And it's really a great thing to be able to be a part of a group that is so like-minded in wanting to be stewards of the environment in this realm. So thank you so much for everyone's participation. And if anyone's interested, like I said, it's a good opportunity to network. My last update here is that I will no longer be the chair, and we have Whit Bhutan, who will be taking over in the 2026 year. And we're excited to see what he has to bring to the committee. Other than that, that's all I have. So I'll pass it on to Ryan.
Hello, everyone. Ryan Corpla. Would like to give an events committee update. First and foremost, we had a very successful 2025, 6 regional events, 2 safety summits, a lot of work put in by a dedicated group of volunteers and all the individual planning committees and the overall events committee itself. This year I was working as the co-chair, working very closely with Lucas Bean as the chairman, and a lot of help from the UAA team, Crystal, Cody, Sam. Amazing work, a lot of hard, dedicated effort put in to making great events, great membership outreach, great regional presence with our utility partners, and also a lot of really good educational content that we want to look at as developing even more, taking that into 2026 and making it even better. So what's new in 2026? Well, a few things are happening. Lucas Bean will be stepping down as the chairman, and I'll be moving in as the chair, and Lucas will stay on as the co-chair. We'll also be working very closely with Matt Goff as our champion. And we have several new members from the UAA membership that have volunteered to be on the committee. I think we have 4 new members over the past couple of months. That's great. That's new ideas. That replaces people on the committee. It gives us bandwidth because we all have other things going on. So we are getting a very good meeting group every meeting that we have every 6 weeks. So we're getting a lot of good interaction and appreciate the new members as well. With 2026, we're of course right in the middle of our planning. We have most of our first half of the year events on the calendar, starting to work on building those out, getting dates finalized, building plans and agendas. And then of course, we're working on the second half of 2026, and that calendar will always be updated. One major new thing we did is in October, we released a event request form that was posted on the UAA website, also shared on social media, that allows people that have an idea for a UAA event to kind of, where is it? When would you like to have it? Do you have sponsors? Do you have educational content? Do you have a utility partner? All these little different things we look at. And then as an events committee, we can take those and look at the ones that are really ready to go. And of course, they're kind of going to be at the forefront because we know that we can plan them successfully. Some of the other ones may be great ideas, but they need a little more work. We can put them a little further out in the calendar. We're also building an event idea pipeline through 2026 into 2027 and beyond, so that as each year comes along, a lot of our events will already kind of be known. That'll speed up the planning process. I think will help develop better events and have more of an opportunity to put new event ideas on the calendar, which is great. We've had a lot of good outreach already from the event outreach form. We're working on new ideas. We're looking at regionalizing some of the events and having them be more in a targeted fashion, try to maximize where we can reach the most UAA members reasonably. Also areas where we can bring in new membership. We're looking at Canada, different parts of the United States. We're also doing some green light thinking on taking events such as a regional meeting and possibly combining them with a safety summit. Rather than a 2-day event, maybe now it would be a 4-day event, and that's fairly long, but it does simplify people's travel. It simplifies the planning, the event center, the hosting, and all the different things that we need to do. So those are some of the types of things that we're looking at here for 2026. We're also looking at having less events, but slightly larger, better planned, more outreach, larger attendance, and trying to have those types of things really to take our UAA events to the next level and try to provide the best possible meetings and educational content that we can to our membership. So I'm excited for 2026. Looking forward to working with everybody this year, and it's going to be nice to see you at some of the events that we have planned. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Well, I will provide an update on what the outreach committee has been working on. Firstly, we're preparing an upcoming member drive, which is scheduled for January 19th through February 14th, 2026. We created a tiered referral reward system and a promotional giveaway, and I encourage all of you to invite new members to join the UAA during this drive. And then also, since Trees and Utilities, we've submitted an article, which was an interview with the California Wildfire and Forest Resilience Task Force to the Newsline, and that highlights some really important work that's happening as far as wildfire resilience in California. And we look forward to continuing our interview series in 2026. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, and we have some folks we're targeting to interview in 2026, such as the NRECA, the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association, and FEMA and others. So looking forward to sharing those interviews with the members in 2026. We've also finalized some proposed changes to group memberships. These changes aim to enhance group membership benefits and also improve accessibility for various size groups to obtain a group membership. Another area we're actively exploring is the formation of a student-led subcommittee or task force that would be supported by UAA advisors from the outreach committee. And there's a strong opportunity for this next year, and we're looking forward to continuing that effort. Additionally, our Hispanic Outreach Task Force continues to make changes to the UA website and UA documents to ensure there's alignment with translation from English to Spanish and that there's alignment and professionalism in the terms that we use. And finally, this quarter, we have begun outreach to colleges in the Portland, Oregon area as part of the mentorship program for Trees and Utilities 2026. So we are reaching out to colleges in the area such as Oregon State University, Mount Hood Community College, Green River College, all of which have very strong natural resources programs, and looking forward to getting those students engaged with our industry in the UAA. Overall, our committee continues to focus on growing the membership, strengthening engagement with current members, and building meaningful connections with affiliated industries. We look forward to doing that, continuing it in 2026. And none of this, of course, wouldn't be possible without all of our committee members and task force. We have 4 task force as part of the committee. The committee as a whole, we meet monthly, and then our task force will meet additionally monthly or quarterly or every 6 weeks. And that's our Canadian task force, our cooperative task force aimed at engaging cooperative utilities, our college educators and student outreach task force, and our Hispanic Spanish speaking task force. So huge thank you to everyone on those task force for their efforts this year and next year as well. With that, I'll turn it over to Phil.
Thanks, Michelle. My name is Phil Swart. I am the committee chair for the Professional Development Committee. This year has been one of growth and momentum for the Professional Development Committee. In 2025, we've seen a significant expansion in our committee participation. About half of our members are new this year. That fresh perspective has been invaluable and has helped us step back and take a hard look at where the industry is at today and where it needs to go next. Recently, our focus has been on reviewing what professional development and advancement resources already exist across utility arboriculture. We're looking at the full spectrum from recruitment pathways that bring individuals and students from outside our industry into UVM, as well as to clear opportunities for workers and advancement and continued education for those already in our field. As Michelle mentioned with the college students, one encouraging sign that this work matters was seeing the number of college students in attendance at Trees and Utilities this year in Knoxville. Their presence reinforced that interest in utility arboriculture is growing and that the next generation is looking for ways to get into our profession. Looking forward to 2026, we're excited to build on that foundation. The committee is focused on expanding UAA professional development opportunities, whether through updated fact sheets, new educational resources, or laying the groundwork for future field-level credentialing. Our goal is to support practical, meaningful career pathways that strengthen both the workforce and the profession as a whole. If that speaks directly to any of your interests, please consider joining our Professional Development Committee. Thank you. And now you'll hear from Seth Blair and the Research Committee.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Seth Blair. I am with the UAA Research Committee. I'm going to give you a brief update today. Here recently, Dr. Anand Prasad stepped down as the chair of the committee, and I've stepped into that role. So if you see Dr. Prasad, be sure to thank him for his years of service on the committee and everything he's done for this group. Here recently, we have been synthesizing a lot of peer-reviewed research, journal articles, and developing research corners for the UAA Newsline. So our goal there is to bring good research, practical to our field, to the forefront where everyone can see it, make it digestible, make it accessible. So we're going to try to align those with the theme of each and every newsline that comes out. So those will be research corners. Keep an eye out for those. In 2025, we formed a subcommittee focused on tree-caused outage investigations and reporting. So we're a group of 11 members right now, including 8 utility representatives. Our overarching goal was to bring some consistency to the tree-caused outage reporting and investigation process across the industry with a particular focus on the distribution system. So by doing that, we can help position ourselves to make informed program management decisions, forecast vegetation risk, and just collaborate across systems while we're all kind of speaking the same terms. So ultimately, we would like to work towards a tree cause outage database and suggest corresponding best practices for the outage investigation process. So be on the lookout for an update on that subcommittee in particular in the March-April issue of the UAA Newsline. Additionally, we work with the Tree Fund. So we're actively engaged with the Tree Fund right now to help provide some insight to the Utility Arborist Research Fund, which is an annual award, $50,000 that funds very specific research to our industry, which obviously we all need more of, or we could use more of. So with them, we can help prioritize research, but we also provide a liaison to help in the grant review process to ensure that research projects that are funded are going to be likely to have a positive impact in our field down the road. So we're excited about what the future holds for us. Our goal is just to bring good research forward, make it accessible to the members, to the industry. And if you're interested in joining the committee, please reach out to me or our champion, Cindy Music, or you could reach out to the UAA, Sam, Cody, or Crystal. So that's my update. I'm going to toss it over to Liz.
Thanks, Seth. My name is Liz. I chair Safety Committee. I've got just a few selected updates from Safety Committee from the last part of this year and some of the endeavors we're going to be looking forward to in 2026. So first, earlier in this year, the committee started working through and providing feedback on survey questions that have been developed and proposed for gathering insights from folks in the industry on training practices related to distracted driving. It's a pretty big topic right now. So that survey went out to targeted representatives from different companies within the industry, and we're looking forward to learning from the results of that and seeing what actions can be developed in 2026. A pretty exciting project that's been started late this year is the reestablishment of the Safety Training and Education Subcommittee. So that subcommittee's met a couple times late this year and has so far determined their focus for 2026. And in line with some of the greater UAA's goals, it's going to be reviewing what fact sheets already exist, which ones might need some updates, and most importantly, how we can better promote and disseminate these existing resources to the industry as a whole, and specifically to safety trainers and frontline workers in the industry. Along with that, we're going to be identifying maybe which ones are missing and working on starting the process for developing hopefully some new fact sheets that we can work on next year. As is the case for every year, another focus for 2026 is going to be the ANSI Z133. The latest revision, now called the 2026 revision, will be published later this year, or next year, sorry, 2026. And for the first time, though, digital copies are going to be available free of charge, so folks will be able to access that vital information much easier. So we'll be a part of making sure the UAA is promoting this once that publication is released. Likewise, the revision process for 2030 starts pretty much right away. So Safety Committee is going to be making sure that our members understand how that process works, how they can get involved, make proposals, and how to submit comments when those periods are open, and that information is also broadly disseminated. As always, we'll have some safety columns coming out each issue of the Newsline magazine. We got plenty of other projects that we are working on, looking to provide updates on as they make more progress. And we are always looking for more feedback and some new ideas. Very excited for what we got planned for next year. And with that, I will kick it back to Josh Beaver.
Hey, thanks, Liz. Get back on camera here. Yeah, I can't say it emphatically enough. Just the great work, the committees, the reps that were here today, all their respective committee members, just the fantastic work that's being done. I know we've said it, but we just can't overemphasize the fact of what they deliver and the great work they're doing for the industry. So kudos to everybody that reported out just now. So I am going to focus the remainder of my time on a little brief discussion on our exciting new 3-year strategic initiative, and that is to become the voice of the UVM industry. So like a little bit of material I kind of mentioned back at Trees and Utilities, it's you all, it's the membership you all play a critical role in what we're trying to do from a public safety standpoint, a reliability standpoint, environmental stewardship standpoint, the whole gamut. So that said, we do know that the work that we all do collectively can at times go unnoticed until it's kind of too late. Something goes wrong. So the goal of the UAA at this point is to really work on changing that narrative. So we need to get out and educate, and we need to get out and advocate to the regulators out there, the policymakers, to the members, to you all, and just as important to the public at large, so they have more knowledge about the UVM industry. And the plan going forward is for us to lead those conversations since we are the experts in this space. And, you know, by following the plan that we now have in place, we believe we can achieve these goals and become that leading voice in the industry in the future, in the very near future at that. So let me go ahead and dive into a couple of these, starting with the financial and internal planning. So what we're trying to do is build a sustainable foundation, through accurate budgeting, through staffing plans, membership growth strategies, all very important. And we're looking to strengthen the financial position by hiring an accounting professional that we haven't had in the ranks before to deliver that kind of long-term outlook that supports our vision and ensures the long-term health of the organization so that Chris and future treasurers can come in every year and give a glowing report. On to education and outreach, we'll continue to engage you, the members, and the general public on the critical work that we're trying to do through PSAs, public service announcements, through educational materials, career fairs, other various programs, and national institutions as well. Policy, law, and influence will shape industry standards and legislation via white papers and through congressional testimony and advocating for our profession in Washington, D.C. And we're currently devising a strategy to get back in DC. It's been several years since we've been there. So we're trying to let's get the messaging right, and let's get the right group of people so that we can move that forward. For industry standards, we'll standardize practices such as IVM, integrated vegetation management, labor definitions, outage investigations to help ensure excellence across the industry. So one that's recently popped up was proper labor definitions, for instance. That's been a topic of a lot of my conversations recently with membership. And it's important that this is addressed from a safety and risk perspective for ensuring employees are correctly compensated. Very important for professional development, proficiency sake, and aligning just with industry standards in general. And then stakeholder engagement, expanding partnerships, launching ambassadorship programs, aligning efforts with future member needs. So UVM doesn't happen in isolation, as we all know. We need to continue to strengthen the partnerships with the affiliate organizations like the ISA, like EPRI, like TCIA, while also working to grow new relationships with outside external affiliates that we just don't have relationships with. One of those being the American Petroleum Institute. That's one that we've targeted for the next year. And, we feel like leveraging strong relationships and new relationships will really increase our overall impact. And tying this one back a little bit to internal planning. So we'll strive to deliver benefits that exceed your expectations, right? So I've said it before, I'll say it again. We realize that you as members, our group members out there, you spend your hard-earned money and revenue to be part of this organization. So a goal of the UAA team, of the board of directors, is to see that we can find ways to create value and deliver a great member experience. And I think I can leave it there for now. There are lots of opportunities out there, lots of tactics that are tied to these opportunities. So you can rest assured that we will work on a plan that will help guide us forward, and we'll provide those updates that I mentioned along the way, just to give you an idea of how we're progressing and achieving these goals. So it's an exciting time. I feel like we've got the wind at our backs, and the momentum to carry us into the future. So again, thank you all for attending. For you all watching at a later date, thank you for tuning in. It's really important that you're involved and just abreast of what we're trying to do. Please remember this is your association, right? And engage with board members, engage with me, shoot me a message, give me a call, reach out to your fellow board members. It's important that your input is shared for the success of the organization. And happy holiday to you all. And with that, I am now seeing Kim on screen. I can turn it over to our president-elect, Kim Lang, for an update on what we have in store for 2026. Thanks, Kim.
Well, thank you very much, Josh. I share in your excitement. Hi, everyone. I'm Kimberly Lang, your UA president-elect. We have some exciting plans in 2026 that I wanted to share with you. So first and foremost, keep an eye open for upcoming sponsorship opportunities in 2026. We're looking at new and exciting ways to better serve our members in terms of sponsorships. Additional ways to support expanding UVM educational programs are on the horizon. So watch for new ways your donations can advance UVM educational opportunities and awareness. The events committee, together with Crystal, are working hard to plan the 2026 events, summits, and conferences. The 2026 events calendar will be published on our website by January 1st, so stay tuned for that. I'm very excited about Row 14 Symposium, which will be taking place in Vancouver in May 2026. The committees have been working hard to create a spectacular event with an impressive agenda and local activities. The UAA Awards nominations are open until February 2026. This is a great opportunity to recognize leaders in our industry. Nominations can be submitted through the UAA member portal. Save the date for Trees and Utilities, our favorite conference, which will take place in Portland, September 22nd to 24th. The call for papers will be, or call for presentations will be open in the new year. This is our landmark event, and we expect it to continue to grow off the momentum of 2025, and even more exciting opportunities are in store. If you're interested in hosting a webinar, please reach out. We are looking for speakers in 2026, and it's a great opportunity to get in front of a wide audience. In 2025 alone, our audience has increased by 24%, and interest continues to grow. And lastly, I think a lot of committee chairs said this, but if you're interested in getting involved, our committees and volunteer opportunities are growing. So contact us if you'd like to get involved in some way. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for attending the 2025 town hall meeting. It's been a wonderful year, and we are super excited for 2026. And I'll now pass it to Dennis for Q&A.
Thank you, Kimberly. Yeah, exciting meeting, exciting stuff going on. If there are questions, they can be submitted through the Q&A section in the meeting here. It'll come up as a question opportunity. And I'll look to see that real quick. I don't see any questions in there. While I wait, give that a minute. I just want to thank everyone, the UAA members, the volunteers, and the team itself, for a tremendous year and all the things that have gone on, moving along very well. Things have gone excellent, and I appreciate all the hard work. Your efforts matter in helping move the industry forward. I don't see any other questions coming in. I guess maybe with that, as we conclude the meeting, Josh, throw it out as a opportunity for as these seasons come to an end and the year is coming to an end, try to keep yourself safe and keep the folks around you safe for everybody out there as you travel and go about events coming to the end of the year and through the holiday season. Again, I appreciate everybody's time for tuning in here today and all the efforts to make the organization a success. Thanks and take care.